Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Bible Difficulties and Answers podcast. I'm your host, Lance Smith, chasing life's big theistic questions. We're in week 2 of our 20-week Sunday series on J. Steve Miller's Faith That's Not Blind. And today we're diving into deathbed experiences, those haunting visions at life's end. So vivid they feel more real than real. Haven't snagged the book yet? Grab Faith That's Not Blind on Amazon. It's a steal, like nabbing a first edition book for pocket change. Pick it up to follow along. We'll nudge you each week to dig into the evidence with us. Check the show notes for the Amazon link and more. Last week, we tackled near-death experiences, where folks who flatlined glimpsed eternity's edge. Now, we're exploring deathbed experiences. Moments at the final breath that might point to God. Let's kick off with a story that'll grab you. It's 1924, and Doris, a young mom, is fading after childbirth. Her doctor, Lacey Barrett, watches Doris's face glow like a lighthouse in a fog. "Lovely brightness, wonderful beings," she says, then gasps. "Why, it's Father. He's so glad I'm coming." The twist? Doris sees her sister Vida, dead 3 weeks, but no one told her to spare distress. How'd she know? This isn't a fuzzy dream. It's sharp, like a window cracking open to another world. Sir William Barrett, a physicist and Lacey's husband, was so intrigued he wrote Deathbed Visions. Could this be a compass pointing beyond the map? Let's pause for a second. Ever heard a family story like this? You might think, "Lance, that's her brain glitching." Fair point. But J. Steve Miller, whose Think Biblically episode sparked my interest in this book, shows why these aren't random. Researcher Christopher Kerr's 2015 study in the International Journal of Palliative Nursing interviewed 63 hospice patients daily, finding 88% reported end-of-life visions, vivid scenes of deceased relatives or spiritual figures, like they're part of dying's fabric. Unlike delirium, patients were lucid, even those with Alzheimer's, unresponsive for weeks, suddenly chatting with loved ones, calm as a summer breeze. And here's a stunner: 87% seeing a guide to the afterlife passed within an hour, like a clock's final tick. Let's dive deeper with a landmark study. In the 1970s, Carlos Osis and Erlander Haraldson, PhD researchers, surveyed 1,000-plus doctors and nurses about 50,000 dying patients in the U.S. and India, detailed in At the Hour of Death. Their method was airtight: structured interviews, cross-checking for bias, comparing cultures to test if religion shaped these visions. Result? No. Christians, Hindus, skeptics all saw loved ones or figures guiding them onward. Kids, in Barrett's study, were puzzled that angels lacked wings, not matching the familiar storybook tales. Patients with good prognoses, not expecting death, saw these and passed soon after. Natural causes: drugs, low oxygen, hallucinations. Osis and Haraldson's controls, comparing medicated versus non-medicated patients, showed visions held steady, too consistent across 50,000 cases. Now, shared death experiences, where the living glimpse this transition, add intrigue. Miller's relative, Bucky Barrett, a guy he'd trust to keep it straight, woke 90 miles from his dad, who seemed healthy, with a heavy chest and a tunnel in his bedroom. His phone rang. A nurse said his dad died of a heart attack. It's like a spark jumping wires, hinting at a connection beyond. Ever had a moment that felt too real to dismiss? Here's a twist. Let's linger on Sam Kinison, the 1980s comedian whose raw, preacher-like energy packed clubs. Raised in a Pentecostal family, Kinnison wrestled with faith before his comedy fame. In April 1992, a head-on car crash in California's desert ended his life at 38. His brother Bill and friend Carl LeBove, by his side, saw him stumble from the wreck, bloodied but conscious, and sit by the road. Then Kinnison started talking to someone unseen. "I don't want to die. I don't want to die," he said, voice raw, pausing like he heard a reply. "But why?" he asked, eyes locked on empty air. After another pause, he said, Okay, okay. Calm and clear, then passed away. Those words from Bill's brother Sam and LeBeau's accounts in People magazine hit hard. Kinnison's shift from fear to peace, like Doris's serenity, feels like a flare in the dark. Was he seeing God, an angel, or wrestling with his past faith? It's a campfire tale that lingers. Listeners, have you heard a story like this? Maybe a loved one's final words sparked wonder. I'm no scholar. My skills lean toward misjudging a DIY bookshelf and getting splinters. But these stories grip me. Deathbed experiences challenge the idea that life's just atoms. Why see people you didn't know died, like Doris did with Vida? Why peace, not panic, when pain should rule? Why the same visions across cultures, defying expectations? Picture a compass in a storm. Naturalism says it's spinning, broken by a dying brain. But the clarity, timing, and consistency, Kerr's 88%, Osis and Haraldson's 50,000 cases, India's 2010 Omega study of Kerala families suggest it's locked onto a signal, maybe God's realm. Miller argues we don't need proof, just a clue to tip the scales. One lead, like a key in a locked room, can crack a case. These visions might be that key. Let's explore the emotional shift. These experiences transform. Patients swap fear for calm, like trading a heavy coat for a light jacket. Kerr's study found 88% felt peace, often smiling, talking of going home. The Omega study noted Kerala families saw loved ones radiant, not distressed. If evolution wired us to survive, why visions easing us toward death? It's like a fire alarm cheering the flames. Unless there's a destination beyond. Skeptics chime in. Brain hiccups? Maybe. But hiccups don't explain lucid patience or unknown truths, like Vida's presence. Medications or delirium? Osis and Haraldson's controls showed no difference. Cultural bias? Omega's Indian data matched U.S. patterns. Natural explanations feel like forcing a square peg into a round hole. Got a story? Maybe a loved one saw something before passing, or a hospice nurse shared a tale. Miller suggests asking trusted friends. These are common, like hidden gems in a family lore. My mom's sense of something beyond still echoes, like a melody you can't shake. These don't prove God, but they're threads in a tapestry pointing upward. So, what's the verdict? Deathbed experiences, vivid, consistent, transformative, are like a compass hinting at a God beyond. John 11:25 in the New Living Translation says, Jesus told her, I am the resurrection and the life. Anyone who believes in me will live, even after dying. Are these visions a peek at that promise? They're a trail worth chasing, like a path you can't ignore. Next Sunday, Episode 3 dives into contemporary miracles and answered prayers, stories of God's hand today. Don't miss it. Grab Miller's book and check show notes for Kerr's 2015 study, Osis and Haraldson's At the Time of Death, or the Omega study. They're rock solid, peer-reviewed, and worth a look. Thanks for joining me for Episode 2 of our Faith That's Not Blind series. Got a story or question? email BibleDifficultiesAndAnswers@gmail.com, or comment on our Facebook page. I read everyone, and I'm eager to know your take. If this episode lit a spark, whether you're wrestling with faith or geeking over mysteries, share it with a friend who loves big questions. Drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, YouTube, or wherever you listen. It helps spread the word. All episodes are at BibleDifficultiesAndAnswers.podbean.com. Perfect for a binge if you're new. I'm Lance Smith, wishing you good luck, good health, and God bless. So long, everybody.